What's up, heroes? Mark here over at Triumph. Just wanted to talk to you about some things that interest me, which would also interest you. I'm a reader, a fan of all these other things, and as we find those things, we're going to share them with you. So I had something come up here that I thought was rather interesting. X-Men is in a real good spot right now. They're starting to get introduced in MCU. The X-Men 97, fantastic show, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's fantastic. So watch that. But it's got a real resurgence. Not that it has ever been down, but it's hitting a real good stride right now. And they're redoing it with X-Men and Uncanny X-Men and all these things starting back at #1. But there's one particular book that I want to bring to your attention, and that would be, we're switching screens here. From Screen Rant, they gave us a little spoiler a bit on these. It's a new team of mutants coming out in Uncanny X-Men #2, not X-Men #2. Uncanny X-Men #2 to be released in September 11th to be specifically. Again, the team's called the Outliers, a team of wild mutants, as this article suggests. So we are going to take a moment to go into this article and hit the high points to see what kind of good information we can have in here and what we can discern from that. Well, scrolling down, this is a clip of the cover, shows the 4 outliers as they are. The names have not been revealed yet. The powers or what these characters are about, we do not know, although it is a pretty spiffy cover. It says here in the text, Uncanny X-Men #2 introduces the Outliers, a new group of mutant characters who will offer a different take on the mutant kind than the X-Men, so they are a differentiator. With the release of the latest volume of Uncanny X-Men and the wide launch, Marvel is offering a different look into the mutant culture than it has in the past several years. So anytime they start back at #1, they're usually going with a large new story arc, something that is a little different than the last one. That's what Marvel is kind of known for. So some of the big points about this book is it's introducing 4 new mutants that could be heroes, could be adversaries, although they will interact with the X-Men. Here is that cover. Again, September 11th is when that book is going to be coming out. Scrolling through the article, though, there are several interesting points. This book, Uncanny X-Men, is focusing on the following mutants: Gambit, Rogue, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Jubilee. So those are our 5 focal points. I absolutely love that they went back to the classic logo. I am just a huge fan of the classics and was not a fan of that other X logo that they had made. So this is pretty awesome in my mind. Scrolling down a little bit further, we get to see some of the more information and covers of these books. Again, fantastic art, but we're really here talking about these new characters, the Outliers. And the interesting pointers to highlight, they got it in boldface here, introduce the latest group to exist on the fringes of mutant society. The interesting thing is they compare them to the Morlocks, which is another mutant group which is not the X-Men, although they're kind of the underground mutants, if you will. It says here that they're suggesting an opposite to the Morlocks, mutants that are so ostentatious and extroverted that the X-Men are tame by comparison. So again, they're using the word wild mutants. Sounds like that would be right up Wolverine's alley. Again, the information is limited, but if you are an X-Men fan, or even if you're not, this is probably going to be a good book to pick up, a key. There are hints that these characters could be used throughout this saga. And there's always these little snippets that, like, could this really happen? Maybe. That's why we speculate a little bit. But it does say it's easy to forecast the possibility of one or more of these members of the Outliers joining the X-Men team. This is just going based on history. If a character develops a level of popularity, they're going to get used more and more. It may not have been the original intentions of the writers or the creators, but just like Wolverine, he was originally a bit character in the Hulk. Got moved over to X-Men and just skyrocketed from there. You never know when a lesser character is going to become someone bigger. So definitely, this is a book to pick up. Do make sure you get this one on your pull list. And don't miss it.